Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stair Floor, episode 6. I'm your host, HgFin. As usual, I have Halq with me as co-host, but today we have MozzarellaCheez joining once again.
What's up, gamers?
He's replacing Juice today because Juice has a lot of shit going on. If he wants to talk about it, he will when he rejoins next week. But
Poor guy.
yeah, he's got a lot on his plate right now.
He's just turned into a service fish for a moment.
Basically, yeah. So, yeah, how's it going, guys?
I'm doing all right. Very busy.
Feeling very Gates Death to West Spire.
I should have mentioned this isn't a history episode. We're taking a break from that because today we're going to be talking about the event that's being organized by Cheez, and he's going to share his thoughts on it and explain the process, and then we'll talk about the teams and everything. But before we do, let's talk about what's been going on in the scene recently, because WiiWare is blowing up, brand new PMD game that's being pushed to its limits. Yeah,
it also may have blown somebody up.
Not yet. If not yet, then soon. I don't know if she's gonna make it through the event. But yeah, WiiWare was given an English translation last year. And I think Softbee and Myro may have been the only person willing to put their hands on it until the challenge event was announced. And a lot of the series runners looked around and went, oh shit, this is the only thing I could play.
Yeah.
So after that, a bunch of us just kind of went in and tried our best to figure it out.
We got a taste of it.
It's not figured out yet, and it won't ever be because there's just not enough there, but at least for No Wonder Mail, but it's probably the most challenging thing I've ever done in PMD.
Is definitely anyone's game. That's how that game works.
So who all?
So, Cheez, would you like to explain what makes PMD WiiWare so problematic? Because I feel like your opinion, it perfectly encapsulates what's wrong, or not what's wrong with it, but what makes it challenging.
Oh dear Lord, this is going to turn into exclamation point WiiWare. Okay, so first off, before you even get into the meat of the run, there's a fuckload of missions that you have to do. It's like 3 missions. You know, you're used to that from like Sky, No Wonder Mail, BRT, etc. That's no big deal. The only problem is you can only do up to 2 missions at once in the first dungeon, and the game doesn't always give you those 2 missions, or it might give you a deliver shitty item that you don't have mission. So then you have to do give up days or a skateboard days a lot, and then you have to do a pack of 6 of that over and over and over again, where it might fuck you over and make you lose more time. Then you do a pack of 6 missions in the second dungeon. In the very second dungeon, the equivalent of Drenched Bluff is basically go fuck yourself hell zone, where there's powder snow swine ubs and overpowered ass beedrills at the very end of a 10-floor dungeon that you do missions on that you can die on. Your clients also sometimes still don't spawn, just like in Explorers. The game basically has every mechanic that you can possibly think of from Explorers that you can possibly fucking hate, such as clients not spawning, not being able to use orbs when you have certain ailments, all of that shit. And then the big problem with the game, the big problem is fucking stacking. A lot of people look at WiiWare, they see the stacking mechanic, and they're like, ooh, that's cool, that's unique. And I thought the same. I was like, hey, that's something that makes WiiWare stand out. Basically, you can make all the Pokemon in your team stack on top of each other's heads. That's how you use linked moves in the game. Each Pokemon just uses a move from its list. It's cool because you can use whatever moves you want at whatever turn. So it's like very customizable linked moves. Mm-hmm. It also pools all their health together. So you get like a big ass health bar really early in the game, as long as you have 3 or 4 Pokemon on a stack. The problem is,
imagine somebody grinds up some rocks and then blows them in your face, and then all of your hard work goes tumbling down.
The problem is the enemies stack too, and they do it a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's basically like the enemies have linked moves and a fuck ton of health whenever they want. And you can only stack your Pokemon if you find a certain tile called the stack tile, I think. So, like, when you first arrive in the last 2 dungeons of the run, which, by the way, you're already there after the missions. It's straight from missions to the last 2 dungeons, and it's horse shit. Like, as soon as you arrive, you might die because you're not stacked yet. You have to go find that tile. You might run into stacked enemies that whoop your fucking ass and take several seeds at once on your way to that point. And then, like, the enemies stack whenever they want. So even if you just meet two enemies, they might just stack on top of each other. They don't give a fuck. There's a bunch of things that can break your stack after you're stacked. So you need your stack for linked moves, but it just, every time you get hit, it randomly falls apart. There's certain things that automatically break it, such as using a fucking revive or getting hit by an explosion, or a fucking sandstorm spawns on a floor, which makes it a requirement to recruit a ground type or a rock type or a steel type. And then, like, it's just so horseshit. It just gets worse the more you play it. The way it makes up ways to kick your ass without
you haven't even mentioned that you can't stacks don't naturally regenerate health.
Oh yeah, that too. That it doesn't even matter because it's like whenever you get hit, but for so much damage you have to heal anyways. But yeah, you don't even regen health either. Monster houses can also spawn stacked Pokemon, and the monster houses will spawn literally like 30 Pokemon at once. Like the spawn cap in the game is raised immensely to where a floor can be downright fucking flooded with enemies. Surround traps can also spawn Pokemon around you. Half the fucking traps in the game break your stack. It's just so obnoxious.
I just can't believe that they have linked moves like on the enemies in this. Like, and then I think they just recognized it was a problem and they didn't continue.
Oh, and this is the birthplace of the mechanic where if an enemy takes a seed, they evolve.
Oh yeah, that too.
But so who's playing this?
The moment you use a single reviver seed in that game, because from there it's like your stack tumbles, the enemy evolves, everything around you falls apart.
So who all has been grinding this? I know we got Secure, Hal.
So yeah, I mean, I haven't been grinding since my PB. I haven't touched the game at all, but I need to.
Definitely have. Shady and Lycanoob have also been grinding. Well, mainly Shady, I think, but
Lycanoob put into work like a lot of work like last week, and he got to a point where he was satisfied and he put the game down, kind of like me. So I can't judge.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of people grinded it a couple weeks ago, and then there's me that started messing with it like this week, and Shady started messing with it recently. And Shady and I ended up hating it. Everybody else seems like okay with it.
I just think it's funny. I think it's a meme, and I think as long as you don't take it too seriously, it cannot get on your nerves.
I mean, it's a good thing it's so short, right? Otherwise, it would be really annoying, I think.
Yeah, that's the
I feel like if the game was longer, it might be easier, because if you have more dungeons in between the missions and the final dungeon, you're probably better off at that point.
Yeah.
Well, technically, there are dungeons in between. We just don't do them because they would.
They're not required.
Yeah.
We just do missions, and then we're like, all right, plot. But I mean, I like that it's short because at least then, like for PB attempts, it'd be great. It'd be like, oh, something killed the run, reset, no problem. That's only like a half hour to almost an hour at most, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the thought of racing the game is what terrifies me.
Yeah.
So lined up, we have me Secure versus Secure versus Cheese for the no Wondermill race, and then Lycanoob versus Shady for the Wondermill race. And Wondermill is a little bit different. I've heard a lot of complaints from Lycanoob and Shady stating that Wondermill is still hard, even though they're spawning in level 50 Pokemon. Like, that's already a very obvious advantage, and they're still having trouble. So if that gives you any idea.
There's just nothing that can even really make it easier. It's just all hard.
No, it's all hard.
Damn
it's just okay. So the last two dungeons are 20 floors and 25 floors, respectively. I think.
Yeah, it's 19 and 24. Close enough.
Close enough. Yeah, they're 20 and 25 Halq floors, and then 19 and 24 Cheese floors. And that's a long time to get. That's a lot of floors to get through consecutively without anything going wrong.
And like when that game wants something to go wrong, it will keep your ass on a floor for like 5 minutes at a time.
It's like Final Destination with all the Rube Goldberg machines, like they will find a way to kill you.
Exactly.
You know,
like
you dodge something else will show up.
Seriously, like you try using items and orbs and shit against a lot of enemies, and then the game just pukes on you a whole bunch more. It's like the worst shit I've ever seen.
But I mean, Secure is not up on the leaderboard yet, but he did get the first sub 1 in it recently, which is pretty sick.
His claim was basically like, holy shit, the game was so nice about giving me good items for a change, and apparently the final dungeon was nice to him, because I know Secure, he said that the final dungeon makes him feel things.
Just emotions, you know.
Oh, have we talked about the story of the game yet?
No, I genuinely have no idea what the story even is.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's beautiful. So we spawn in this village and people don't like each other, and that's a problem. So the village elder Slowking picks 2 Pokemon out of like a herd at random, or you pick them, but it's like you 2 go in the dungeon and rescue Shuckle.
Actually, at first everyone's friends, but you go rescue Shuckle.
And then when Shuckle comes back, he's like, oh, there's something in there I wanted to eat. And then Shuckle didn't get to eat it, but he heard about this chocolate and chocolate cliffs, and he really wants to eat it. Okay. So we go and brave the storm and put our fucking lives on the line to get this man some chocolate. And you get there, it's like a Kit Kat sized chocolate bar. And I went through all of that when you could have just had some apples and shit.
Yeah.
And then we bring back the chocolate, and then Shuckle's like, oh my god, the chocolate, thank you. And then somebody else walks up and grabs it because it's like, I want the chocolate. The chocolate looks fucking good.
At which point, the Kecleon thief theme starts playing.
Oh no, that's actually really smart.
And then somebody like downs it. I don't remember who it was. And then it's like, okay, you have to go to Path of Treasure Valley to get these gratitude cookies so that everybody can be happy, because the chocolate was only for one person.
Okay.
But the gratitude cookies will make everybody happy.
Right. So sharing is caring or something.
Playing.
You go through the Path of Treasure Valley, 25 floors, and you get the gratitude cookies, and all's good.
It's literally just a SpongeBob dude just been like, chocolate.
I played that on stream the first time I got there. And that was my first time getting to experience that part of the story. So
that's so fucking funny. So then what? Or is that just the whole plot?
End.
That's it? That's it? Are you kidding me?
It's the entire main story.
This is the biggest bullshit story ever. Oh my god.
On the bright side, seriously, the cutscene where you bring the chocolate back is like one of the best in the entire series, at least.
I understand why they never even bothered with the English translations now. It's just not even worth your time, you know?
No.
It's in terms of game quality and also literally game difficulty as well. It's like Super Mario Bros. 2. So
I was gonna mention.
That's a good comparison, actually. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. But damn, okay. So anything else about WiiWare worth mentioning?
We found out recently that Teddy Ursa, one of the starters in the preferred version of Wildfire, has the IQ skill Cheerleader, which if you feed it 10 gummies, gives like a 50% or maybe a 20% attack buff to all the Pokemon in the stack.
Oh, okay.
It's a good buff. Finn knows it from Darkrai. Yeah, we use it there too, and it's a godsend.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching your stream and you were like, oh, does this remind you of anything when you're feeding all the gummies?
Yeah, and I kept feeding blue gummies too, of course.
It's interesting how that shot carried over. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I mean, so with that was the only avenue for series runners to get to, other than me being able to run RTDX. But that sounds about as fun as a lobotomy. So I definitely prefer WiiWare.
Well, it was the only new game anyways for most of us, because I did throw together a whole bunch of stupid categories thinking like, hey, all right, so people that have played a shit ton of stuff can still have some options if I put this here and this here and this here. But things ended up playing out such that all the top runners are on WiiWare, which that's fine.
That's cool. So what else? Halq, I don't think we got to talk about your tear through all the games recently. You've just been on a tangent.
Yeah, so over the last couple of years, I've been kind of taking a break from PMD, but as the new people have come in and like pushed time severely below where I was at, like I was getting a lot of imposter syndrome. But like, did I really even accomplish anything if not my time is like 50 minutes off where the current world record is, or like, you know, now there's completely outdated strats and all of my time has been completely obsoleted. Like, did I even accomplish anything? So with that in mind, I definitely wanted to at least improve the games. I did not expect to get as many records as I did so quickly. I believe I got Time and Darkness first, and then 2 days later I got Super Mystery Dungeon. And then later that week, I think I got WiiWare. And then the next week I got Gates to Infinity. And almost all of those are gone now, except for Gates to Infinity. That one's still holding strong.
Shady's been doing super, right? Now he has the world record for
yeah, he beat the record's now at 5:24 for super, and then he beat my time darkness record by like a minute and a half.
Well, the super bop is actually crazy. He beat it like 20 minutes ish, right?
Not in one go. Like it kind of willed down.
Oh, okay.
He got like a 5:35, I think, first, and then a 5:33, and then he immediately jumped down to 5:24.
Yeah.
So that's where it stands right now.
I've waited all my life to see Super Mystery Dungeon blow up, and now I can retire happily.
Jesus, thriving right now.
Yeah, so Shady is probably most notorious in the community for his insistence on split up strats in every game he plays. And it just so happens that it's very effective in Super. It's very effective in Super. That's mostly what's responsible for the time save. Oh, and Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball's cool. It does double damage if you're slower than the opponent. And because our speed's always so low and we get to the end of the game completely under-leveled, we're doing double damage with the attack to pretty much everything. And it has a base power of 4, I think. So if you feed it 2 power drinks, that boosts it up to 8. So it's basically double power and then times 2 to every enemy, pretty much.
Okay.
It's gnarly.
Yeah.
Nothing's really changed with any of the other games I played. Like with Time Darkness and Gates, it was just I just had a better run. Like I just took the route that was already a thing and just. Well, even the super record I got the super record I got was with Pikachu Oshawott, with Oshawott doing 15 damage to dark matter with Assurance, which is not a lot at all. And I was told afterwards that you need an attack loop. I'm like, okay, this character's fucking useless if he requires a specific item to be functional.
Yeah.
So we kind of all went to work after that.
All right. Well, I think that was all for like records, right? I don't think anyone else did anything worth mentioning. If they did,
yeah. Then
for PMD Radiance on WiiWare. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, WiiWare. I got that record. It was kind of sitting there for a while, like by Soft Beam Myra, like at 130 or so. And then I got a 117, and I think maybe 3 or 4 days later, Secure got a 113. And then ever since, he's just been kind of whittling it down. The same as Shady with Super.
Yeah.
And now I believe it's at 57 by Secure.
57. It's funny because the WR for Wondermail and no Wondermail and WiiWare are really close now.
The only Zoomer we need to hear from now is Shadow, but I think
he's in the lab. He's grinding.
He's gonna do Sky if he hasn't already. He wants to grind that.
Yeah, he was kind of busy with school, and now that he's on break from school, he's like, all right, I'm getting WR for this. So I guess we'll hear from him in a week or two, or however.
Yeah, we'll be hearing from him soon.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. But yeah, I think that's all for the news in that regard. But okay, so now let's talk about the event. What is this event called, Cheese? What is the official title?
This is the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Challenge event.
Okay.
That's it. It's just the challenge event.
Gotcha. I like it. So
because the main challenge, of course, is everybody had to learn a new category or a new game.
Yeah, and that's the whole gimmick.
Be able to join.
You essentially, if you don't know, so Cheese is organizing and running this event for us. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And the gimmick is that you have to play a game or category you haven't done before. So we got a lot of new runners joining, a lot of people who are just like trying new things now too. And how did planning and organizing this work? Geez, how did you even come up with this idea in the first place?
So it was actually both. Fittingly, it was you and Halq individually gave me ideas. So Finn, you gave me the idea of like the next event being squad matches or something, because I didn't want to do another relay necessarily, because that was really hard to organize. Having to make it work with everyone's schedule and having every race as back to back as possible. That was very hard. So I didn't want to deal with that again. So I figured, all right, this time we'll go with like some kind of points system instead, where like you win or lose. It doesn't matter if you get super duper fucked. It's just, play your race out, see what happens. So now there's a nice little strategy element too, because now you can choose to be either super optimal and risky, or you can choose to be very safe. You don't have to be safe if you don't want to be. And then the idea of everybody playing a completely new category, that actually came from Halq in DMs, right? I told him about the whole squad matches idea, and he was like, what if we challenge people?
So it's my fault.
From there, I was like, wait a minute.
So it's my fault that MozzarellaCheez had to play WiiWare. I'm sorry, Cheez. I'm very sorry.
It was going to happen someday. I just, maybe this way I actually had to play it more than once is all. Because otherwise I might not have.
So that's how that happened, I guess. And then how did you go about... So what I should say is that there's basically every single main game and category in this, right? Is there anything big that's left out or no?
Okay, so when I made the sign up form for this, because I knew that a lot of experienced runners would look at this and be like, oh, I can't do shit. I tried to think of a bunch of stupid categories for us to try out. So I had some things on there like Blue Rescue Team, True Ending, all 4 possible variants. I had like Wonder Mail, No QS, or BRT. All those ended up not getting used for any reasons.
Okay.
I had an IL run of every single level of reset dungeon, like every single 99F level reset dungeon, because every game has one of those. Like people only really know about Purity Forest and Destiny Tower, but every game has something like it.
Yeah, Gates has the Path of No Return, and then Super has the It's a Meow Wonderful Life or whatever.
Yep, because all Meow Theater dungeons had movie puns in their names.
Oh, okay.
And only Destiny Tower got used among those, although Blue Rescue Team All Icons is also in the events, and that does have Purity Forest in it. So
okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. You do that at the very end of it, right?
Yeah, if you follow Whom's route, that's the very last thing. Yeah, which it's optimal because then you can just ditch all your items and go right in without a worry.
Gotcha. So
I think that's all the unused categories. Oh, there was also Mew % for Super, which like 2 people signed up for. So that I didn't even include that on the planner spreadsheet. I knew that wouldn't get used right away.
That's just Super plus like an extra hour and a half of gameplay, right?
Yeah, it's literally only 3 more dungeons. It's kind of sad. Although they are interesting dungeons because you have to run them solo.
I demand World Core, actually, in the next challenge event. I want to see World Core.
The sad thing about World Core is it adds on like a whole ass hour, and it is 1 more dungeon. That is why I didn't even consider it. It's literally 1 more dungeon. It's like the most boring post-game category.
World Core is the pathetic attempt at a post-game that Gates to Infinity has. It's literally 1 additional dungeon, and that's how you get your starter back.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, you have to do it as your solo partner, which is interesting.
That's
that's where Belly gets introduced, because Belly's not in Gates before that.
Wait. So wait, then is it in the game forever after that?
No, it's only in certain dungeons, actually.
Okay. That's so weird. Why did they do that? Huh.
I don't know.
I appreciate no Belly, because sometimes those floors can be something else.
No Belly is super nice.
I have to worry about Belly during any percent.
I like how the workaround for all the layouts in that game being shit was not to fix the layouts, but just make it so you don't have a belly. But okay, so what else? How did you decide the teams? Because I don't think we talked about the team factor yet. So we have
the teams were actually one of the last things I figured out, because given the structure of the event, I first had to figure out a lot of other shit. So I guess I'll go back to another question you asked earlier that I accidentally dodged like a politician, which was
I don't even remember it, so you did a good job.
How did we decide who was getting what game, basically?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I made this big ass planner spreadsheet where I took everybody's submissions from the Google form for what categories they wanted to play, what their availability would be. And I made like this big nice sheet where there was a column for every game and category, and then a row for every runner. And I organized the runners based on who should probably be good against who in a race setting. Like I didn't want to put completely new people against like us, for example, you know?
Yeah.
I had to at least keep things somewhat reasonable for each person. It's good enough everybody's playing a new category. So that was how I figured out like who would be up against who, and that's where I started. I just kind of tried to match up players based on whether their availability would line up, whether they picked the same game, and whether they would actually be a reasonable match or not.
Mm-hmm.
This started with just a giant brainstorming sheet where I just listed off like every reasonable matchup, and then I compared all of them, thinking like, all right, how much would I want to watch this? How much would I want to watch this? And I highlighted them in different colors. I think it was just darker and darker shades of green based on how much I felt excited about a given matchup. And then eventually I ended up choosing my favorite workable matchup for each game after double checking a sheet Machu kindly made for me, which listed off everybody's availability.
Shout out to Machu.
Yeah, that was Machu. He helped me a lot with that by making that sheet. And I initially asked people like vaguely when they wanted the event to run by asking for late December, early January, late January. Almost everybody picked either late December or early January. So that's how we ended up with the time of like the timeline of after Christmas, basically like 2 weeks after Christmas.
Yeah. So
oh, sorry.
No, it was just making sure. So this starts the day after Christmas, right? And then it ends like sometime in January.
The final race currently is January 11th.
Okay.
Assuming no reschedules happen, that would change that.
We've advertised it lightly, but so we do actually have a pre-show planned currently before Christmas Eve. Me and Cheese will be doing an 80% No Wonder Mill series race as kind of the first content broadcast on our new PMD Community Twitch channel.
Ooh, let's talk. That's important to talk about because So what's the deal with this, by the way, this new channel?
So we've worked with a lot of race stream providers in the past, BSG, Speed Gaming, really longathon, and we really felt like what we're trying to do here doesn't really work for any of those race streamers. Like Speed Gaming would basically require like professional commentary, and we want it to be like the runners can just chat and talk about the game if they want to. Really longathon, we would be taking up their stream intermittently for up to 2 weeks. They may have other things planned, and same for BSG. So we figured it was about time to just make our own channel and just broadcast things that way.
I think that's really dope. What is it called? Can you link it so I can put it in the chat? Because I'm not even following it yet, so yeah, I need to follow.
Yeah, it's twitch.tv/PMDCommunity.
Okay.
And that's where the series race and the entirety of the challenge event will be broadcast to.
Yeah, go follow that shit, guys.
Please go follow that channel. I tried announcing it, but I think everybody has had everyone muted at this point.
Maybe. But yeah, all we have to do is just get the word out for that, you know. I mean, we already have like 37, I think I just saw the number was followers for that.
Yeah, we made it like 3 days ago, so
yeah, that's pretty good then. Yeah. So we just
hopefully when the channel's live with a series race, that will change things.
Yeah.
Once we tell everyone we're doing a series race, then we're getting eyes emoji.
Yeah. So that's going to be streamed on there, and then all of these are going to be streamed on that as well.
It's gonna be a rough weekend for me because I'm doing the series race, and then both of my challenge event races are on Sunday. I'm doing We Were with Cheese and Secure, and then Destiny Tower versus GN 97. I'm gonna lose.
It's just unfortunate how the scheduling had to work out there.
And then don't forget you have a Stair Floor episode after all that too.
Fuck. Yeah, I'll be there. No problem, Finn. I got you, buddy.
Hey, if you need to take a break and not do it, that's fine.
We'll see.
I'd volunteer to take place, but it won't be much of an easier weekend for me since I'm also doing that series race, and I'm also
the only thing you're not doing is Destiny Tower.
Yeah, which wouldn't even be that big of a deal for me, anyways.
But okay, so let's talk about the teams, I guess now, right?
Yeah, back to that.
We have Team Tempest, Team Wildfire, and Team Radiance. So how did you? Yes,
because of the newest PMD games to be released, WiiWare.
Which I
we
like
decided to name the teams off of each of one of the WiiWare games.
Listen,
this started because like for a while I had no idea what the team names would be, and I just kind of generally asked like, "Hey, anybody have any ideas for a theme this time?" Because it's not Boomers, Zoomers, Zoomers again. That wasn't going to work. Because instead, everybody of each generation kind of ended up had to be There's too many completely new people. Basically, it would be like all Zoomers.
Wildfire is basically boomers. Let's be real. All of the boomers are on Wildfire.
That's pretty close. Team Wildfire, literally, I was just like, okay, so that I can make sure nobody complains about the teams, I'll just make sure that the entire Stair Floor is on like the same team with like people Elk knows, like Strife and Lycanoob and who else did I throw in there? Cobra.
Appreciate that. We got a boys team.
Literally, I just figured there's no way he's gonna say no to teams if I put all this shit on this one team. And then I gave Shady like secure. And I was gonna give him Yimo, but Yimo dropped. He got Ciethan, got Orange Bing Bong in this event. That's pretty legit.
That's pretty dope. Yeah.
Some of the people that signed up for this, I was surprised. Orange Bing Bong especially surprised me. And some people are in 2 races as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Orange is doing BRT, any percent, no QS, no Wondermail. They've never played BRT before, so that'll be really cool. And then they're doing Sky All Special Episodes, New Game Plus, which is one of the dumb new categories I made up for this. I'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, I saw Lycanoob routing that the other day.
Ooh.
He was routing out. He was using a save editor to edit his storage so that he could literally pull out any item he ever wanted.
Yeah, we're all going to do that because otherwise it's like too tedious to prepare.
Yeah, so he had the idea to use maybe, he was experimenting what the best exclusive items were for Bidoof.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I underestimated how much preparation can go into that. There's a lot of considerations, like exclusive items, all your general items in inventory and storage, equipment, even IQ can actually be a consideration, but may not be relevant. Movesets, there's a lot of options with moveset, so that is actually more interesting to prep up for than I imagined.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, that's how I made 2 teams. I was basically like, all right, what people would Hulk like, what people would Shady like. I gave myself everybody else. That is absolutely no offense to everybody else. I just figured.
You're cheating because you gave yourself Eponymous, so this is clearly rigged.
Yeah, it's not like there was nobody good. Like I got I don't know how to say the name. Eponymous is how I always say it. I got Gion, I got Liver Sticks, who came out of nowhere and whooped ass in the relay. So
thank God he is back. I missed Liver. And then who else?
Yeah, like every team has some giants on it. Really, like that's because every race I wanted it to be somewhat even. So.
Mm-hmm. And then, so let me just read through it because I was sharing it on the screen, but I'll just read through it again. So we got for Team Tempest, Cheese, Gion, Eponymous, Leon. How do you say that? Leon Matcher?
Matcher? Yeah,
Matcher is how I say it. They are a new Blue Rescue Team runner. Okay. They've been in some races.
Serbi.
If they are a completely new person, they've been doing Rescue Team DX practice.
Gatter.
New Blue Rescue Team runner. They once attempted to recruit them all.
Oh, okay.
It's a great way to start.
why do you just go from 0 to 100? Why would you ever?
Hey, that's how Carbossi started.
That's crazy. I respect it. That's just insane to me. Then friend Narwhal, Machu, Void. I'm not familiar with Void.
Machu specifically wanted a challenge. Oh yeah, I was torn between adding Pixel and Machu to my team, but I felt that since Machu was doing planning, he would probably fit better on my team, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So
just because he thinks about the game, that makes him a mozzarella cheeseite.
Well, he helped me plan the.
You don't think Pixel's? Shit. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like Pixel's not even trying to like prepare for the run. I was like,
no, I've seen them like equally. Damn it, no, I mean like.
No, okay, I misunderstood. I was like,
the whole event.
There's nothing wrong with just going into it. Okay, I'm an advocate of that.
No, actually, I've seen all 3 of the super. Well, I've seen Pixel and Machu preparing. I'm guessing Juice has been a bit bogged.
Yeah, he's been in the boot camp with Coach Halq for a little bit.
Nice. And then, how do you say this? G Knifel?
I say it Knifel.
I say
Knifel.
They're a completely new runner, but they seem very eccentric.
That's actually one of the moderators for our mystery dungeon.
Oh shit! I had no, and I've been doing all this shit talking on Reddit, the PMD Reddit of my life, because of how people are towards newer PMDs, and here I am inviting a moderator.
Yeah, he actually before the challenge event was announced, sadly, he reached out to me to do like a spotlight for our community and a Reddit post on there.
Oh.
So we got a couple people join because of that. And then he was interested in joining the challenge event after we announced it.
Is that what that one Reddit article is about? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's funny. All right. I guess I'll watch my mouth about Reddit with knowing that then.
I don't even go on Reddit, so I didn't think of this, but I should definitely post the Stair Floor VODs on there at some point. So that's it for Team Tempest. And then Team Wildfire. So we got Halq, Cobral, Strife, Paz, Callan.
I think it's Paz Colin. Yeah, he was in our rando tournament. And he was the person who tried to do a match without the instant text patch.
Oh no. Well,
I was commentating and I saw chapter 1 of Storm at Sea and I was like, oh shit. What do I do as a tournament organizer? And that match ended up taking like an hour and a half, but like everyone enjoyed the match for the commentary and the content of the match, so it was a good thing.
It's good to see them come back, of course. And then we got
Kelpocket.
KLPKT. I have no idea how to say that one.
Welcome to the boys.
New runner, I assume.
Yeah, they're completely new. I would have made a group chat for every team by now, but the teams are too big. So
like 10
people.
Discord. You can only have 10 for Discord.
So then Curtis, of course.
BRT runner.
Yeah, Noob.
Fun fact: Curtis and Gator have like the exact same PB for BRT, so they were a perfect match. And both of them, that's like the only finished run they have.
That's perfect. Yeah,
I think.
Noob, of course. Arrow. Shout out to Arrow.
Arrow ended up actually being a replacement for somebody that had to drop. I think.
Was that Yemo?
He's done Sky No Wonder Mail, but they did it like once a long time ago. So I was like, okay, that's good enough.
Who did they replace? Was it Yemo?
It was not Yemo. That was
Schmoxy. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, did one run they did part of one Sky No Wonder Mail run. They were like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Never mind. I guess. Yeah.
It was bound to happen. So luckily, I had Arrow as a backup.
And then we got me. We got Diego, who
Diego helped commentate our PMD Randomizer Grand Finals in Spanish, and he's actually one of the, I don't think he's an admin, but he's very, very active in the speed gaming Espanol community. And he kind of is all over the place with games, so it's cool to see him here.
I had no idea that so many of the people I got for this had such backgrounds.
I'm pretty sure it's funny he's on my team, because I'm pretty sure this is one of the guys I faced in the Crystal Bingo tournament, right?
Yeah, he was in your group.
Yeah, and he beat me, of course. So we'll be working together this time. And then, last but not least, Juicebox. Finally coming back to do PMD runs
of Super Mystery Dungeon, no less.
Now, I am concerned if we're going to start our analysis. It might be here. I'm concerned.
We gotta talk about Team Radiance and then.
Right.
But if you want to talk about this now, you can.
Team Yellow.
It's Team Yellow.
So on Team Piss Yellow, we have secure accounts.
Wow.
No, I didn't skip Noob. I said Noob. Didn't I?
Yeah, it was just very quick. He needs no introduction.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah, Team Paciello, go on. We got Secure, of course. So that's all they need.
He's a grinder. He's an absolute grinder. Like, somebody posts like an insane time on the leaderboards and they have no prior history with us. We're kind of suspicious. But like over the time that I've been here and I'm just watching him stream, watching him talk, he will put all the time necessary into something to get good at it and become a top player at it.
Watching him talk is funny as fuck.
Watching him in the Discord. Yeah.
No. I know what you mean. I just think it's funny because literally watching him talk.
Nobody on the podcast to defend Team Piss Yellow. Man, so it's unfortunate.
Secure someone. Good to have someone here. Orange, like we were just talking about Orange.
Okay, wait, what's someone's background? Because that's another person I don't know.
Someone actually, I think their starting point with us was in the, I think they've been a lurker for a very long time.
Oh.
And they were in our rando tournament, and they did exceptionally well. They almost took out Eponymus and Losers. Eponymus had to claw that one back. And I believe also for SGL, they were involved with the Link to the Past randomizer tournament and did fairly well in that.
Wow, that's funny. Another connection that I didn't know existed.
Yeah, so someone
with their practice at RTDX.
I mean, someone also has a really good time in RTDX for how little they've played, so they're definitely someone to watch out for here.
And then we got Orange, like we were just talking about. I don't know how to say this. Is it like Heal?
Yeah, Heal. Heal is the other Finnish person in the community.
Oh, Shady, you're not alone.
Yeah, but he prefers to speak Dutch.
Wait.
For some reason.
Okay, that's interesting.
He's always in Eponymus's chat.
So
making fun of him.
Eponymus and Shady brethren, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know that Heals and Eponymus should have been on the same team, but oh well.
No, it makes it interesting.
So for Heal, just to kind of give a little bit of a blurb about them. Heal and Eponymus recently did 10 hours of BDF, and that's not actually legal. You should be committed to like an asylum.
I know
upon completing that.
Yeah, I know who this guy is. Yeah, okay. I was watching some of that stream.
From somebody that's done a lot of insane shit in PMD.
You're not even playing the game if you do 10 hours of BDF.
I've done 4 series races and a recruit them all, and I wouldn't even do 10 hours of BDF. No, thank you.
I mean, it's pretty chill. Like, you don't do anything for probably like 8 of those hours. So
I would literally rather play WiiWare for 10 hours again.
Oh no.
Alright, so that's Heal, right? So then Deltnix, who was in the tournament, right?
Yeah, I think they're French. Yeah, they're
ahead of us, so I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, the random tournament was their first interaction, and since then I've seen them really active in Cheese's stream and other streams. So they've turned into quite a lurker, but you know, as always, we do encourage the lurkers to come out and put their nose to the grindstone, see what they can do. So that's exactly what Delnix has done here.
And then we got Inferno.
Inferno Bren. I think he was just kind of lurking in the community before our January relay.
I see Inferno around a lot. He's pretty
yeah.
He's a familiar face, of course.
Yeah, I think he told me he signed up for Gates for the relay just to be able to participate in the relay.
Oh, really?
Just to guarantee a spot. Because he's like, nobody's gonna want to play Gates. This is genius.
So he got pretty good at it pretty fast, and apparently that race was very entertaining. I still never got to watch it because it was at my
from when I was there. It was fun. I liked it. But since then, I think all he's done is that preparation for Gates. I haven't really seen him write anything else.
Yeah, I didn't realize this when I added him to this event, but he told me that he felt he's feeling kind of burnt out on PMD. So, oops.
It happens.
I tried my best to balance this event, but in some regards, what could I do?
Yeah, no, you did your best. And then we got Shady, of course, legend. Ciethan.
The new MozzarellaCheez rerouting every single game and getting WR with those routes.
Yeah, he just, well, I don't know when he made it, but he recently updated the Gates guide, I'm pretty sure. So,
he updated it today.
Today as well?
To include a footnote for West Spire to say, make sure to bring Reviver Seeds Halq.
Why is half the Gates guy just shitting on Halq?
I don't know. Because I've picked on a lot of the 2 people that have contributed the most to it, so I'm just all over it.
So then we got Ethan, the Aussie lad, doing Gates with me.
He's been around for a little bit. I think he started after I quit in 2019.
Yeah, he's
if I'm not mistaken.
Like, if he's like considered a Zoomer, he's like the oldest Zoomer, I think. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I consider Zoomers like everybody that started after I quit, like mid 2019. Like, cause I come back and I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Like, you're really, really good. You're better than me.
I don't even really consider Ethan a Zoomer, because like for me, when I think Zoomer, I think anyone who came like post RTDX announcement. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's fair. I think I put him on the Zoomer team on the relay out of sheer necessity.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's arguable, of course, or debatable, I should say. But yeah, he's both. He's more Zoomer than whatever the fuck we call the middle people. Oh, you know what?
Humors.
This is a good point to bring this up, because we have boomer and we have zoomers, but we don't have a name for the middle people, and I have
Ciethan.
it. No, coomers.
What?
I love it, and I want it like framed on my wall. Boomers versus coomers versus zoomers.
What?
We just don't have a name.
It's marketing genius. Just let him work.
Humors works too, though. I do like humors.
That's a good second.
And then we have a Sinyadrill.
Let's see.
I don't have a profile for them, actually. This is probably the only person I don't have anything to say.
Oh, they also have done BRT with us, actually. They've done races in BRT. So, also a very new runner.
And then, Pixel.
The today's oh my gosh legend. The only person who wants to spend more than an hour playing that mode. And liked it enough to make a guide for it, and is just the undisputed king of that game mode.
No, I'm not surprised, Pixel. It's just I don't know why I said it like that. But
loves whales, and also very, very good at No Wonder Mail and Sky also. So legend of getting deliver slumber orb missions until I picked up WiiWare, where I then stole that title.
Also Mario Party legend.
I should have put him on my team for the Mario Party name, but oh well. I was like I said, I was torn between Machu and Pixel for Super, because I knew both of them would have wanted to be on my team.
Yeah. All right, and then those are the teams. So
that's it. Oh, geez.
Yeah, but now we get to talk about the actual matchups. And
can we go from bottom to top? Just because we introduced them all from top to bottom.
Sure.
Okay, so the bottom one, because I want to talk about this. I said Juicebox is in the lab with Coach Halq, but in all actuality, I don't think he's put in a single second of time speedrunning the game so far, and I'm a little worried.
I think he'll be okay. I haven't done games.
I said, Juice, how's it going? He said, I'm still not done with my casual playthrough. The fuck do you mean casual playthrough? We don't have time for this. You gotta get going.
Oh, yeah.
Like, your casual playthrough should have been months ago.
Oh, by the way, apparently someone's name is just get rid of one of the 2s at the end and make it a 5. That's all. But yeah, so I think he'll be okay. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate right now, like we were saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the problem is, like, there's a lot of games in the series that someone that's like good at BRT or good at Sky, Time Darkness can just kind of go into and be fine. But Juicebox's whole W mentality in every game he plays does not work in Super Mystery Dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn and you have to adapt, and the game will kick your ass to teach you that holding W doesn't work.
Well,
I'm hoping he knows that from having watched us, but I guess we'll find out for sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know a long time ago he used to like watching me run Super because it's different and because you do have to think on the fly an awful lot in that game.
And Machu actually just recently got sub 6, so
yeah, they're doing well. Machu really, they told me they wanted a challenge. Like he told me he wanted to be going up against like high level runners. So I was like, all right, man, here you go. Here's Pixel.
I think Pixel's, if I'm not mistaken, Pixel may still have a 623.
No,
but
Pixel,
I mean,
Pixel, I think got better than sub 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did they?
I thought by now Juicebox would probably be in sub 6 territory as well, but life's been fucking Juicebox up, so
yeah.
Oh, it is 623. What the hell? I thought it was a lot. I thought you had a way better run than that for some reason. I know I've seen Pixel doing like basically more.
Well, I think Pixel was on a better run, but then his 3DS crashed.
How was that?
For some unknown reason.
Was it old 3DS or new 3DS?
I think Pixel's a new 3DS.
Oh, that's weird.
He rage quit. I'm not the only one that needs to get acclimated with their game.
I've quit in Voidlands. I think everybody who's run Super has had a run either die or like had a pit of frustration in Voidlands.
I've quit a run once there too.
It's frustrating.
And then Also Machu, of course. I'm not sure how much experience Machu has in Super.
Well, like I said, he just got sub 6 recently, so he's actually accelerated a lot in the game. And he was actually in my chat, I think yesterday or earlier today, asking about possibly moving over to split up strats.
Okay.
Which he wants to run Pikachu Charmander, which I think is fine for the early game because Charmander kind of runs early game with Flame Charge or Flame Burst and Dragon Breath or Dragon Rage.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to coddle him in late game.
Okay.
He will die instantaneously to everything that's thrown at him, and it's a little scary. But you are pretty much guaranteed to get out of the early game at a decent time.
Oh, Cheese, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you could say why you specifically chose like this matchup or why you thought it was good head-to-head if you want to.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, Machu said he wanted a challenge, so I figured, all right. For me, I felt like with planning, Machu was somewhere in the middle, where like he's definitely better than completely new runners, a little better than like he's done like BRT races with us and improved a lot, so he was like a little better than some of the new BRT racers. I felt like maybe it would be a little extreme for him to be up against like top runners and such. So I felt like this would be a decent middle ground. It's like Pixel is a very, very good Sky No Wonder Mail runner, but that's like he's really only done Sky. And kind of same with Juice. Juice said he PB'd by a lot with Sky No Wonder Mail in the relay. So like he still knows what he's doing with PMD. He has watched us play a lot. So I figured this is probably the best middle ground I can think of. That's not like bullshit impossible and not like hopefully not too one-sided, as long as Juicebox does eventually get the time that he needs to practice, which at least that race is still like almost a month away at least. So
I would say, I don't know, I think Juice is definitely the underdog, like we were saying here.
Yeah, just because of the circumstances.
I don't know who I would actually pick to win though. So
it all depends on how they handle pressure. Because we have a stress that we want this event to be low stress, just kind of have fun with it. But when you're in a race and you only have one try and you're at the end of the game, you can find even the most basic things such as movement fucking impossible.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're on a record pace or something, or a very insane PB, like your hands freeze up and you don't know what to do. So I think the winner will be the person most of all that can overcome that.
All right, well, now we move on to Sky All Special Episodes, New Game Plus. What does a New Game Plus mean?
Okay, so normally in an All Special Episodes run, you're supposed to start with storage empty and amass items as you go between episodes. But in this special category, we got like a special ban list of certain items that would be too broken, but otherwise you can have whatever the fuck you want in storage and just go to storage before every episode and break the game as much as you can think of how to break the game with what is available with those shitty starters that you're given for the episodes.
Right.
So it's a very much a creativity and routing challenge of me, Lycanoob, and Orange, which is probably one of the best compositions I could have thought of for that, because all of us have expressed creativity and routing abilities in different ways across the series. So I'm very much looking forward to this, and I don't know, I haven't seen what Noob has streamed. I've just been working independently on my own, and I trust Orange has as well, because Orange has demonstrated immense knowledge on Sky. So I don't know if we're going to be copying each other's homework with this one at all. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what we all unveil for strategies for breaking the game.
I feel like it's going to happen accidentally. Like some things are just going to be you all come across as the most optimal thing.
No, actually,
very likely, yeah.
I love that Orange is in this.
Have like mobile scarf and shit.
So can you give us like a rundown of like what the banned items are, or just like a couple
real quick? But yes.
While you find that, I do love how Orange is in this because he hasn't this is his first time doing like actual runs and shit. He comes up with a lot of strats like for the special episodes and things, and he made like a whole quiz to find out what the best option to do is like in the Team Charm boss fight and shit like that, I think. So it's going to be really interesting to see what he has in store.
Oh yeah, by the way, Orange told me that they've done in the Future of Darkness runs. So and I asked them what their PB was, and it's sub hour. So I immediately knew, like, okay, so you're definitely a top runner. You've been hiding mad skills for years, Scott.
Yeah, no, which is why I'm so excited he's doing this, because it's frustrating because he will route the game and then like not like submit runs or anything like that. So
I'm like half ready to get my ass whooped, honestly. But maybe it'll be more luck based than anything, because from the bit of test playing I did, Stair's luck becomes so much more crucial with the kind of shit we're pulling.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I'm losing both my races anyway.
So the ban list is Pure Seeds, Luminous Orbs, Stairs Orbs, Stay Away Orbs. All of these interact with the stairs, so we would spam them on every floor. Stay Away Orb, if you're wondering why that's banned, it's because it teleports an enemy to the stairs. So if you have X-ray specs or a radar orb active, that would reveal the stairs too. So all the things that interact directly with stairs have just been banned. The closest you can get is getting Stair Sensor, which I don't know if that's actually going to be worth it anywhere or not. There are a couple mains that actually could get that. Then after that, it's the one room orb, because otherwise we would just one room orb, petrify orb every single floor. And full hold orbs, because that petrifies every enemy on the floor. So that would get rid of all the enemies. And we banned rare fossils, because that would make
not the rare fossil. No,
that would make this boring as fuck, honestly. Like, that would just be too easy to route in to almost every episode, every battle almost. So
I not gonna lie, I love this. I didn't even know going into this like exactly. I didn't know shit about the banned items and like the whole New Game Plus aspect, and now this is the race I'm looking most forward to.
This was my first public unveiling of it. I thought I'd be doing a practice run by now, and then it occurred to me just how much work actually can go into preparing for that race.
That's why I think this is really dope. There's a lot of preparing that needs to be done. So fuck yeah, I love it.
I think it'll be a more fun run to watch the less I know. So that's probably the last I'm going to ask, like, about what your strategies are, what your plan is, because I feel like in the moment, like, seeing everyone kind of present their projects to the class, it's going to be really, really cool.
I think Orange winning Orange is definitely the underdog, but I also would not be surprised at all if he took the W.
I think can I share a rather, I don't think it's a lukewarm take. I think Lycanoo's the underdog, if I'm being very honest.
Okay.
I love my boy, but like, he's been kind of out of it for a little bit. He has come back and done Time Darkness any percent. But Sky, as we all know, is a very, very different beast. Especially the special episodes. They are mean. They are hateful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he doesn't prepare enough, he could get kind of whacked. But it looks like he's doing enough preparation. So
yeah,
I think he's overcoming
that's
that
a good
status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I would say Orange would be the underdog in that sense is just because he hasn't really submitted any runs, and I don't even know like how good his movement skills and general gameplay skills are. So it's just like not even so much he's an underdog, it's just a completely like I don't even know.
We don't know. It's a variable.
But I do agree with that. Probably how I think in that sense, if Noob's lacking motivation right now or whatever, but I mean he's preparing, right? So we'll have to see.
Like if he only gets time to route the Bidoof one that I've seen him route, then the rest of it could just go not as well, clearly. But
that's probably the second easiest one to route. The easiest one to route is probably OMG. We might all do the same thing for that one. I think. Unless Orange thinks of something even more like obscure, because Orange is very good at thinking of obscure shit.
Yeah. And then I guess because of all we just said, I would say Cheese is the whatever opposite of underdog.
Yeah, I feel like if there's a person in this community that's probably done more runs of special episodes, it's definitely Secure Account, but Cheese is definitely up there too.
I only occasionally do special episodes as like a fuck it one-off. I have like 15 minutes to play PMD or something kind of thing. But I have, over the course of time, done quite a few runs. And I know a long time ago, like Noob did a bunch on DS. So at least he has that background.
I was there too. Which is way less prevalent. We forgot to talk about some news, actually.
Oh, okay.
My 5-year-old time Here Comes Team Charm record on DS has officially been broken by Heal.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
GG Heal.
There was no reason for me to have that record that long, but I'm glad it's finally out of here. It was a 39-26 from 2016.
That is crazy. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Records to stand the test of time.
I mean, because like Wii U was, I think it was before the category split or before the
like the board,
the platform split. Yeah,
those runs might have been from before Wii U existed.
I think it might have been, actually, being honest.
Because once upon a time, all the runs were either DS or emulator. There was no Wii U.
And then Eponymus ordered a 3DS capture card, so he said he's going to beat it soon as well. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it for that. BRT, any percent unrestricted. We got Liver versus Ciethan.
I wanted to put you in this race so badly, Finn, but I didn't want to put more than one thing on your plate.
Yeah,
so I think for scheduling reasons, it didn't work to have you. I didn't have like anybody else for Gates if I put you here, I think was the problem. So
yeah. But I think this one will be pretty close. It depends. I think it solely depends how much Ciethan and specific practices. That being said, I don't know what how rusty Liver is right now, so I haven't really seen him do anything yet.
That particular category entirely comes down to preparation, because of all the memorization into it. I haven't seen either of them practice yet, so who knows? Maybe they'll both YOLO it by reading the notes as they go, and then it's literally anyone's
It's
game.
a completely viable strat, actually. My first world record with Blue Rescue Team, manips was just purely reading the notes. So you definitely can, although you'll go a lot faster if you memorize it. And with this being the most execution heavy PMD speedrun, when these people are probably more likely to be used to thinking in adaptation, it's quite a different shift, and you need to kind of get your mind going that way, and just kind of get into it. Like, you need to practice unrestricted for a long time and then go into a run, because you can't run other things and then go to unrestricted all of a sudden.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that well.
For predictions, I would Ethan's my homie, so I'd just go with him. But I think it really just matters how much they practice, and I haven't seen either of them do that yet, to my knowledge. So unless
I haven't screwed Liver over too badly, because I know Liver was one of the few people that wasn't so in favor of the event being so close to Christmas, so I might have screwed him over by scheduling.
No, I think
January 9th is fine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It's one of the later races. After. That's right. These are all like later races. So these all the ones we've been talking about still have time to really change direction, actually.
Didn't Ethan memorize all the sky codes casually, then proceed on not grinding the game really? So, good point, Shady. Yeah, Ethan's weird like that, where he puts in effort, but then doesn't grind all the time, you know what I mean? And he's been pretty preoccupied based off what I've been seeing him on a stream do with the Zelda, I think it's Link's Awakening rando shit.
Yeah,
right?
Oops, I accidentally got people addicted to Zelda Link's Awakening.
Yeah, you low-key did.
Link to the Past rando, my bad.
Sorry, Link to the Past, yeah, you low-key kind of started a little sub-wave.
I got hooked on it, then I got other people hooked on it, and then right then I got sick of it.
Yeah. But
Liver came out of fucking nowhere with Gates with the relay, so maybe they'll do the same thing here. I genuinely don't know which of them is gonna.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see Liver back again. Like I said,
yeah, me too.
So that's it for that. Now, Time Darkness, any percent no Wonder Mail. You got
new boys, all new boys here.
All new boys. So this is really interesting. So again, it's Gnifl. Shit, what did we say?
That's how I say it.
Gnifl, Diego, and then I'm just gonna say Sin.
So all we have from these people, I don't think any of them really stream their attempts, but they have splits.
Mm-hmm.
They have. I've caught Diego streaming before. I think they streamed at ass o'clock, which is why I saw it. I think, but yeah, I've seen Diego and Nifl do their attempts. I don't think I've seen Sinyadriel do a run yet, if I'm not mistaken. They are at least familiar with BRT, no QS, no Wonder Mail, which that does transition somewhat decently to Sky at least.
Mm-hmm.
Gnifl has a 557 and Diego has a 614.
Yeah, so not too shabby. They've both had a couple runs.
Really, really good runs for how short they've been running it, especially HgFin.
That's true.
Like
that's
it took
true.
us forever to get sub 6. And sub 6 is, even though the times are half an hour below sub 6, I think sub 6 is still a very important milestone.
That's true. When you first start out, that's not like easy or anything.
No, it's definitely not easy.
No. I mean, my first sky run
quite new.
My first sky run was like a 6:30 or some shit, so it's not free necessarily,
First sky run was almost 7 hours.
Well, I had your guide when I did mine, so.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, my head was Fretzy telling me, we don't need a guide, just link moves easy.
Just pick Pikachu and Mudkip. I'm like, okay.
Okay, if you say so.
Okay.
Back then it was.
I never finished a single run of that route, by the way, and I ran it for months. And all of a sudden, Riolu Vulpix comes out and is like, hey, world record's free.
And in terms of predictions for this, it's hard to say anything. I would just go with my boy Diego.
I think Gniffel's definitely the most motivated, I think, right now, at least.
Yeah, they seem very eccentric. I have high hopes for Niffle.
I don't think Synedrel has posted their splits anywhere.
I don't think so. I might have screwed them over with scheduling as well a little bit, because they were also one of the people that wanted this to be later in January.
Okay, so I have a little bit of an improvement timeline for Gniffle. December 5th, 6:22, and then they got their 5:57 on December 8th. That's only 3 days difference.
Okay,
that's really not a lot. That's a lot of improvement within 3 days. That's 25 minutes or 25.
Yeah, Niffle had never done PMD speedruns before as of the start of this event. I figured they would do fine against people that have done PRT before, since I had a feeling they had like some important role somewhere in some PMD community. I didn't know that they were like straight up a mod for r/PMD.
Yeah, and with that, clearly they're very familiar with the game, very familiar with it casually. There's a different beast entirely, bringing casual experience into a speedrun, because a lot of it just goes unused.
Just to clarify, because Rod is asking, the route really was Pikachu and Mudkip, right?
For Sky and Time and Darkness.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, they didn't have me to rant about Pikachu back then.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's all for that, I guess. Gates, 90% with Wondermail. Me versus Ciethan.
Time.
This is my favorite race because this is the best PMD speedrun.
I'm gonna whip this kid's ass. I haven't even practiced it yet. He's been
Gates.
We need to do that. Even if you're listening, we gotta do a practice race this week, Hikey.
So I assume you guys are going to use fast gates for this, right?
I was going to use whatever shady strats are. But for
fast practice, gates is a mod.
Oh yeah, sorry, for like practicing purposes. I actually don't know if we were going to do that or not.
I forgot about that. I was going to talk to all the runners in their groups about what platforms they're using and if they wanted to use any textless versions. Though, as far as I'm currently aware, everybody's just playing the vanilla version of their game so far,
which I'm fine with. I don't really care.
Yeah, so way. Gates, it's very similar to Sky that you're used to, Finn. Like, just mechanically, but it does have some additional quirks.
I did Gates no Wondermail before.
You did?
A couple, yeah. I have time on there.
Long time ago.
Oh, it's gonna be way easier than that, actually. Well, the beginning is gonna be like, pulling teeth, but once you get past like the 30-minute mark, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm just excited because when I did the Gates no Wondermail runs, I was so like scared because I've seen you and Cheese do your race where like I forget which one of you guys got stuck on the final boss and you kept having to like repeat it over and over and over again. But,
that was Hulk and I doing the first ever textless Gates race, and Hulk was ahead the entire race, and then he was totally out of resources on Kyurem, I think.
Yeah.
Kyurem or Muna?
It was Kyurem.
But that shit like made me nervous. But with the Wondermail, I'm not gonna feel as
I died at almost the same place today. It's weird.
It's almost as if it's a really hard
Spire is nasty.
They really put the run killer at the very end of the game, huh?
With Wondermail, it's really not that bad. because immediately your starter is going to go from level 9 to level 32.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get Dragon Dance, Dual Chop. You're going to be running the fucking game.
Okay.
Like, the game will bend to your will. And then at the end, like, it's like, oh shit, everything's like around the same level as me now. So you just got to be careful.
So question about that, because I'm pretty sure Ethan and I are both using emulator. So
yeah, that's the default.
I have my NES controller that you have, Halq. And I
the Buffalo?
Yeah, and I also have, of course, a GameCube controller. And I remember that circle pad is actually like pretty good for gates. So I was wondering if
we just need to map your D-pad to the circle pad. Or map your D-pad as a circle pad.
Yeah, do you think that would be better than using the D-pad?
Well, I think I heard Shady say today that the circle pad doesn't actually have a buffer on it the same way Super does, so it shouldn't matter actually.
Yeah, Gates doesn't have the same rules as Super and RTDX do, whereas in those games there's actually a legitimate input difference between a D-pad and a circle pad where you can buffer inputs with the circle pad, but with Gates it does not matter. It's literally
can you move on the I actually don't know if you can move on the overworld screen with the D-pad.
I believe you can. I don't know that for Gates actually.
I would just play it safe and map to the circle pad. It's gonna be no difference, just to make sure you can do everything.
Well, the main thing is like, I remember when I like did it before, was like, of course, all the hallways and like the layouts are super long. So like, you can kind of it's easy to just like wiggle the stick, I feel.
Yeah.
But I never tried it before, so I'm gonna test it out.
Yeah, it's gotta like you can just do this with the D-pad, just like kind of like wiggle the direction, then wiggle that direction, just like you can get through the corridors really quickly.
I felt like it was most comfortable with the 3DS circle pad, but maybe I'm just weird. There was a long time where I was the only 3DS runner that would actually use the circle pad.
No, so. I mean, I remember like other people sharing that same sentiment. I'm not sure if that's shared now, but a couple or a year ago or whenever it was, I remember you saying and other people saying that circle pad was pretty good. Also, Shady says in the chat, thing about normal gates is that it's very easy to read a guide while you go. Fast gates not so much, and that fast gates is fun to run once you know the basic route.
Yes, fast gates just basically takes out 2.5 hours of cutscenes or 3 hours, I think it is.
Which I think when I do definitely my first practice attempt of it, I'm just going to do normal gates, and then once I get comfortable, probably do it fast. But
yeah, because like between every dungeon, you have multiple minutes to prepare. Like, yeah, it's absurd. But I think you're probably better off just mapping it to the circle pad, just in case you can't move in the overworld with the D-pad, because I don't know for sure. And functionally, there's no difference between them. So, but I wouldn't use a GameCube controller because, like, there's times where like the GameCube stick is too like it's on a hill and you're moving it like on and off.
You would think the notches in specific would be really good for PMD though, right? Because it's really like the notches for perfectly moving in like the direction in the dungeon, Right,
but how that translates to an emulator is sometimes you can actually get your directions mixed up. Like if you accidentally go too far right before you go down for the down right, it'll take it as a right input.
Okay.
So I could just see that leading to problems. I wouldn't do it personally.
So wait, I gotta say what Shady's saying. So Shady's saying the buffer
there is a difference between D-pad and
the buffer exists, so it's not exactly what I said. I just said that mashing D-pad is good at times because you're allowed
the buffer exists in gates, Shady is saying.
Okay, because you're allowed to mash because you cannot push enemies accidentally, and you can move with D-pad. 99% sure.
Okay, so maybe I'm not sure, because if what he's saying is true, then the circle pad is objectively better.
Okay.
And if you're wanting to use the SNES controller, you definitely want to map your D-pad directions to the directions on the circle pad, or just use the GameCube controller. I don't know. I would just try like the first dungeon with the D-pad, and then switch to the GameCube for the second dungeon to see what you like better.
All right, good call. I will do that. And then prediction-wise, I win. Fuck you, Ethan. All right, moving on.
Yeah, but no, Gates also has the interesting mechanic of holding Y to skip all move animations. So like you're gonna need to run through dungeons and then like do your move and immediately like slide over to Y so you can skip as much of the move animation as possible. And you're gonna want to do it anytime anything uses a move. So that's gonna be like your reactive like reflexes to just go over to Y and skip all the animations. It's pretty cool high APM because of that. Actually,
one of the cool things about Gates, there's some unique in that game.
Yeah.
I keep accidentally releasing push to talk. My bad.
I know, that's okay. It's okay.
It's like L canceling for PMD. It's just related to Smash.
All right, good to know. Good to know. All right, moving on. Sky 90% no Wonder Mail Void versus Arrow. I can't believe Arrow's never done a Sky run or a Sky no Wonder Mail run before.
Like I said, I think technically he has, but he was also like a last second addition to the event because initially Arrow's matchup ghosted me, so I was like, well, Arrow, sorry, but I don't have anybody for you now. And then Schmoxy dropped, so I was like, okay, Arrow, you want back in?
Yeah.
He's technically, I think, done one Sky no Wonder Mail run before. However, I figured it was long ago enough that this is still acceptable.
Mm-hmm. So, what do we say about Void again? In terms of like the background,
Void, they go by two different names, and I literally don't remember who that. I think they're just completely new.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure who Void is.
Okay. And
I can do a quick speedrun.com search.
And in that sense, I would just put my money on Arrow. Which, by the way, I don't think it's possible, but I think you have to have affiliate to do like channel point betting.
I believe so.
Damn, because this would be good. Or it would be fun to have that shit going on the stream.
Maybe.
I mean, we could get affiliated if more people follow us.
Yeah.
We need a few more followers, so hopefully we get that during the series race, and then.
Well, they take hopefully Twitch also takes their sweet ass time with getting back to you on that too.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's an affiliate feature and what's not, because I've been an affiliate ever since like the program launched. So, like all the things that have been new, I just may have just.
Oh no, I just
got an email for it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't. Yeah, that's what I don't know if channel point betting is specifically for affiliates or not. But yeah, it's pretty fast. All you need is like 3 average viewers, but the hardest part is doing the.
Oh yeah, we can't get it. We can't get it right away after the series race because we need to have streamed on 7 days within a month. So we need to complete at least 7 streams.
Oh, okay,
we will have made that requirement by the end of December. So
yeah, we'll have it for.
That means half the event's not going to have. It's not.
That's fine. We'll have it for next time.
Or at least the second half of the.
Yeah, but all I gotta say here is like I don't even know. I would just say it, Arrow.
I would say Arrow just based off prior experience. Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe Void will be God or something. You know.
Yeah. So beware.
Beware. Like Noob Shady.
Beware. Like Noob is an OG.
Shady's done the more recent practice and probably has like a either more optimized route or I don't know. I think he got the better PB at least, so like slight odds in his favor, but anyone's fucking game.
Yeah, Lycanim has like a 103 or a 101 or something, so it's pretty good. But like, Shady was very adamant, like, I'm just gonna steal whatever Noob's doing and just do it, and then making changes off it. But now that Shady has done his runs and recorded them, Noob now has that ability to just take what Shady has done good and just apply it to his own run. So kind of cheating off each other. Now, in terms of efficiency and execution, like. I think Shady's like a beast. Like he hardly makes any mistakes like that. You can point out and be like, that was Shady's fault. He shouldn't have done that. You don't say that about Shady. Like he's very clean with his execution.
Yeah, he entered the series with the most technical run, RTDX. So if you can play that game without making mistakes, you can play any PMD game without making mistakes.
So I think this is going to be a really close one in that sense.
It's definitely the game you don't want to be making mistakes on because the game's going to shit on you enough without you doing anything wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
WiiWare is just Kaizo RTDX. Yeah, it's perfect for you.
He was thinking about implementing the Switch leader strats and like going nutso with it, like every couple rooms, just switching.
I don't think he's doing that in the event.
Oh no.
Oh, no. We'll see.
All right. So now, Sky all special episodes, Mashu versus Inferno.
Sky's all special episodes is scary because there's some episodes that are like instant resets and can just be very reset heavy just when doing them individually. So doing them in what's practically a marathon is cursed, actually.
Like a death in Bidoof is, if you die in Bidoof for some shit, like you gotta pray the other guy fucks up or else like you lose or something, you know? So
yeah, all special episodes has always been like a fun race because it's anyone's game, but yeah.
I don't know who I would pick.
Machu improved very fast at Super, and Inferno told me he's burnt out on PMD. So
I would go with Machu personally.
Well,
I don't want to count out Bren, but if he is as burnt out as he says, and if that burnout does lead to significantly less practice time, I would give it to Machu.
I believe in Inferno. I think he can make something happen. That being said, I kind of Team Radiance is definitely going to have a decent amount of dubs in general, so this would be a good chance for Team Tempest to pick up the lead. So
it does hold true that I think Machu's main focus for practice is Super, so who knows. And then like I said, all special eps is anyone's fucking game, so yeah. you could go into that race completely unprepared and win.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the Future of Darkness, sorry if I'm jumping ahead a little bit, I just saw the name and fear just went through my
We'll just get to it. Let's just get to that now. So we have Fried Narwhal versus Heal. For
the problem within the Future of Darkness is very, very soon into the run, you're put into like a 8v2 boss battle. And if you do not pick up a single reviver seed in the first dungeon or so, you are so fucked. And if you die, you have to redo the whole dungeon.
Yeah, this is one of the races that's worth half points because it is so short and potentially so bullshit.
Yeah, it really is. It can be completely bullshit. So
basically each team has one match that's just a 1v1 that is worth half the points for various reasons.
Right. That being said,
I don't think we can see on screen how much points they're worth, but just trust us on this.
No, if I go over here, it doesn't say. Like first is third,
over there.
Or first is 3, second is 1. Which we didn't even talk about the point system, by the way. We'll talk about it after, I guess, after we go through all the predictions. So yeah, I don't know. Flip a coin. That's how I make my prediction for this one.
All right, I'll get Brilliant Diamond out real quick.
Yes.
I think Heal's got it because Heal just took the record for Here Comes Team Charm on DS, which was kind of free, but like that involves actually playing Here Comes Team Charm, which is a different beast in itself. So it's more than I've been able to see from Fried Narwhal, honestly.
So that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing their skill. Now moving on, BRTL icons, no quick save, no 1ml. Gatter versus Curtis. What's up with Gatter again?
Icons. Oh, okay. So a lot of people have been looking at me and being like, geez, why the fuck did you put these new guys, these poor guys, on that motherfucking category? Because this category is pretty infamously nasty. It's like the Darkrai of that game. Well, as it turns out, and like I said, Gator already attempted to recruit them all. So like if he was able to at least get as far as he did in that, he can handle all icons.
That's true.
Because he made it like a day and a half into that, so he's done like most of post game shit. And Curtis, as I learned in my own chat the other day while doing the run myself, he knows a lot about the post game and BRT. He's also done studying for Recruit 'em All on his own right. So, and both of them have like the exact same PB for BRT any %.
Oh, okay.
So it's this one. It's literally as even as conceivable. You know, I haven't seen either of them practice yet, but they have the exact same PB and they both have Recruit 'em All knowledge of the game. So it is literally dead ass even.
I think that's really good fitting for both of them then, because
there's a lot of variants that can come up. Like you have to recruit the 3 legendary birds to recruit Ho-Oh or to have access to Mount Faraway. And even it is RNG.
Even if one of them had a particular advantage, this is true. The run is very much anyone's game due to bullshit RNG. You got the recruits. You got to recruit Abra, which is where I rage quit the other day. You got to beat Purity Forest, which could go badly, even if you know what you're doing.
It's a treat. That's what I'm going to call it, as a treat.
Yeah, that run could last. That race could be anywhere from 9 hours to like the entire fucking night.
Yeah, we have no idea how long it is. Well, I would hope that they're working on practicing and all that shit. So
God, I hope so.
Hopefully, they don't get stuck somewhere or whatever, or lost. But I believe in them. So moving on, I guess. Sky, any percent with Wonder Mail. We got Kelp to kick the versus Delta.
I'm gonna say Kel Pocket.
Kel Pocket versus Deltnix.
So the thing about Sky Wonder Mail is that some people would consider that to be the PMD category with the highest skill ceiling possible. Just because of the implementation of Wonder Mail, the implementation of Wonder Mail. Yes, no, the mobile scarf and the fight gem. With those two things together, your movement can be illegal. How fast you can go like through the game. Yeah. But I don't know if either of these runners are going to use mobile scarf, or they're probably going to use fight gem. But I don't know about mobile scarf. Mobile scarf is a bit advanced.
I feel like it depends how much practice they have, but it's definitely. I mean, if one of them uses it and the other doesn't, like, that's GG in my opinion. So like they either have to both use it or neither of them use it, and they have no way of knowing that, right? So I would imagine that they would prepare to use mobile scarf.
They should have like a gentleman's agreement, like before, just like kind of just like
they could
just a gentleman's agreement, like no mobile scarf, man. I didn't practice that shit.
They could. That's something, because like that's, yeah, I would say that would be a good call for them if they want to do that, because then it's like, oh, you don't even have to worry about getting your movement like that fucking good for it, because it is a very high not skill ceiling, but like whatever the fuck the other thing is, where they have to learn how that shit works.
Oh, skill floor.
Yeah, that. So I would recommend that they do that, the gentleman's agreement. But
seeing that I don't know who Kel Pocket is, and I've never seen them talk in the Discord, and I've never seen them stream, and I've seen a lot more from Deltnix in terms of being in people's streams and just talking in the Discord, I would honestly just by default have to give this one to Deltnix if I'm a betting person.
Yeah, unless KLP is like the new secure account. I haven't seen them do much yet either. I hope they know how to prepare. I hope they know what they're getting into. I don't know myself yet. I didn't. They've been quiet for me too. So we will see. I think they asked me what the best route was to prepare up like right away,
because there's so many options, right? So it's
that's a really hard question to answer. I think Secure has like a decent modified version of my guide that's currently like the suggested beginner route, but even that doesn't have infinite revives. So I don't know. We'll see. Delton seems really confident also. So
it's going to be really interesting then to see what strats they go with and what partners they use and all that. So it'll be pretty interesting. That being said, I would bet on my boy KLP because he's on the team.
Right, I was supposed to hype up our guys. I forgot. I think all of my bets have been on the other team so far. Fuck.
We'll see how much they prepare for it. So, all right, moving on. RTDX, any percent, no Wonder Mail. Serby, Paz, someone. Right off the bat, I would just probably assume someone's winning. I just don't know how much.
Okay, so here's the thing about that. I feel like someone in Serbia have like similar PBs right now, or
really?
Or if not,
what's your mindset for putting these guys together?
Okay, so literally, this was just going to be Serbia and, or this was originally set up this way. All three of them basically had a mindset of like, oh yeah, I'll pick up a hard category. Hell yeah, I'll do it. So I was like, okay. And I haven't seen Paz do the run yet. Serbia has been putting in the work. They've gotten from like 4 hours to 340 to now down to like 330 ish. Everyone's scared of someone because they already got like a 320. I don't know if someone's been having an easy time recreating that though.
Because
but I was gonna say like I think someone started their grind a little bit before Serbia. But I feel like Serbia is on pace to improve at the same rate that someone has improved.
Okay.
So that's why I say it may be close between them. at least from my perspective. All I know is I did one run of R2DX No Wonder Mill, and that was my last run of R2DX No Wonder Mill. Anything can happen. Pikachu could just get completely slaughtered. You could get completely slaughtered, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So best of luck.
And then I have no idea how much Paz has been practicing and preparing. So
yeah, I'm in the dark with Paz, but Paz especially came up to me up front and was like, "Hell yeah, give me a hard category."
Paz is actually I don't think we mentioned this earlier. He's actually one of the developers for the Sky Temple hack Explorers of the Spirit.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably one of the more popular fan games or fan hacks of Explorers of Sky.
Okay. Well, I would still probably say like
it doesn't change anything.
The fan favorite is definitely.
It was just something I remembered. Yeah.
No, it's good to know because I have no info on this guy. So, maybe he'll come in clutch. That'd be dope.
I'm sure there's people that are just doing their preparations behind the scenes to not like scare their competition. That's got to be a thing.
For sure.
Because there have been a lot of people keeping me in the dark. I just hope that is indeed the case.
Yeah, Ethan doesn't know, but
he just tries YOLOing this. It's not going to go well.
Ethan doesn't know, but I've been practicing gates every day without him even knowing, and I've been dodging his attempts at racing me because I don't want him to practice. You know, it's just it's my 5-head strat.
So in our next race, we have a world record holder for this category.
Yeah, right. Which is Sky, Here Comes Team Charm, Strife versus Heal.
Now, I think Strife has been having some difficulty with it, mainly because the movesets that you start with are pretty much RNG.
You are guaranteed a stab move on everybody at least, but yeah.
You're guaranteed a stab move, but the remainder of your moves are RNG, and some moves are better than others. And then very shortly into the run, you're thrust into this very, very hard, like 10-on-3 boss battle with Agrons and Lairons, and it's completely ridiculous. Yeah. And I don't think anybody's come up with a good strat for it yet, unless I'm mistaken.
No, Orange has a whole fucking thing for it.
Is it like a fucking flowchart? Like, if Agron does this, you do this, and then...
I have a bookmark somewhere, but I'm pretty sure he made like a fucking quiz for that.
Some of the random moves are useful. Like on the one safety thing you can do in the Agron fight is growl them with Gardevoir. So at least Gardevoir doesn't get destroyed repeatedly. Or you can double team on Gardevoir if she has That. If
I'm a Baton Pass fan, personally.
I use Baton Pass if I have nothing else. If Gardevoir gets Psychic, then that's better than Confusion for her, so that's one good random move. If Lopunny gets Jump Kick, you can try to use that on Lairons and Dungeons, so that's a good random move. Metacham just Force Palms all the time. Or if you have High Jump Kick, you use that during the fight. I think that does way more damage.
My mistake, he doesn't have a flowchart yet, but he does have strats, which I remember him teaching me before when I was running it. Baton Pass is really fucking good in this.
It's also hilarious.
So is Agility. You really want to have Agility.
Everybody just teleports around. I love it.
Like, it's supposed to be for the boss fights, but
if not for the practicality, just for the novelty.
Yeah,
I think it's fun.
Yeah, my bad, Orange. I know you have the flow chart for Darkrai, but not for this. But I know you have notes and you did a lot of theory crafting for this, so I would recommend for both these runners to check that out. But I mean, Strife is already pretty fucking good at it, right? So,
we'll see.
I don't know about Strife. I don't know what Strife's been doing with it, but Heal, like I said, has like sub 40 already, which is probably the last 10-ish minute milestone you can break.
Yeah.
For this.
We'll see what happens. I remember Strife telling me they were excited about this one, but I think now Strife is much more concerned about RTDX.
Yeah. Cheesy like a push to talk.
All right, well,
it's good. Whatever.
Strife said this PB is sub 40. It's like a 38.
Oh, we have a good race then.
Yeah.
Anyone's
that's
game.
Close to Heal's PB.
Gotcha, Strife. Also, Orange is going to post notes tomorrow or the day after for Charm. So if you want that, stay tuned for that. So moving on, BRT 80%. No quick save, no Wonder Mail. This is going to be good.
The classic
Eponymous. versus Orange. I already was saying earlier how I'm excited to see Orange run. Epinumis, I don't know how much experience he has in BRT, but obviously
both of them have none, as far as I'm aware.
A lot of Sky transfers over to BRT, though,
yeah, exactly.
Except they're going to be kind of shell-shocked by the enemy density because they set it to approximately like too fucking high for BRT. So it's something to get used to.
I have no idea how much they've been practicing, if at all, similar to a lot of other cases. They both are excellent at Explorers. Orange literally told me they've never played the game before. So I was like, all right, I know you can handle this.
I've seen Epinumis grinding Sky Wondermail, so or Sky B Dark Growth Wondermail, or maybe just regular Sky Wondermail, like on the Texas patch. So I personally haven't seen Epinumis grinding BRT.
This is going to be a close one.
I thought for sure I was going to throw completely new people at that category because like that's where all the completely new people go. But I also couldn't resist the temptation to have this good of a race right there on such a famous category.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
I'm just surprised there's no rep for Team Wildfire here. That's my only surprise. But also, actually, it's not that surprising.
Fan has nobody to root for. He's got to pick.
There's only so many like top runners that haven't done BRT, no QS, no wonder, man.
Yeah, that's why I instantly was like, wait, that's actually not that surprising. Now that I think about it, but
I would put my money on Epinumis just because he's been grinding speedruns of the other DS game on emulator for months and months and months. So I truly feel like a lot of it will just come naturally and he'll still be fine. The only thing he would need to adapt to is the route, which for an experienced Skyrunner, it's like a cakewalk in comparison. Like just learning the route.
The main thing is figuring out missions.
I'm an Epinumis stan, but
myself,
yeah. That being said, it's gonna depend on how well Orange is like splitting up his time in preparation for this and also the Sky Isle special episodes E-Game Plus. I'm not sure how much practice he's been getting in. If I were to just assume who's going to win, I would say Epinumis, but I could definitely see Orange coming in clutch.
It's also BRT, so it's really anyone's game.
Yeah.
That's where I've been for so many of these. I'm just like, it's anyone's game, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good because that means like you organize the teams and the matchups like really well, you know? So I think that's a good thing.
A confirmation he's grinding now. Get ready, Epinumis.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, RTDX 80% with Wondermail. We got Leon, Strife, and someone.
Okay, so yeah, this is the one that someone got added to like very abruptly. Someone had to replace Yemo, but I couldn't put someone in Yemo's race, so they ended up here instead. I'm very sad
Yemo had to drop, but
me too. I remember when I was planning this whole thing, there were like 10 races that I was eager to see Yemo in.
Yeah,
Yemo's race for B Dark Earth Wondermail, which was where I believe he was literally Boomers versus Coomers versus Zoomers.
Please, for the love of God.
So it would have been a nice exhibition.
Team Wildfire.
There isn't even an actual dedicated route. I believe the full list of Wondermail codes is in the pinned messages someone, but as for like an actual route,
I don't know why. Like, I think the last time I asked for the Wondermail route, they were like, oh, you don't want to do it, it's just grinding for Lonely Courage. Look, I don't want to sit there and grind for a run to live past a certain point in the race. I'd rather reset early on for Lonely Courage than reset every time I get fucking snuffed out in Mount Blaze or something. Like, just give me the route.
Yeah.
I'd prefer this. This is easier.
No one's actually typed one up, so you kind of have to just look at Shady's run.
Strife Sada has some notes in the Discord that he posted.
Okay.
After I asked for it, but it's not super flushed out. It's just kind of a bare bones route.
Mm-hmm. What's the background on Leon again?
Lurker, I think.
Okay.
I think he's done BRT runs before, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he has a speedrun.com profile.
Yeah, Leon's done BRT. He's done races with us, actually.
Oh, he has?
Yep, he was.
Oh, is he the person you keep calling Eponymous?
I think so, yeah. I couldn't tell apart their voices or something.
What's the concept?
So I guess he sounds a lot like Eponymous, so when voice calls, Cheese always calls him Eponymous.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was one whole race where I kept fucking that up because I had no idea. Felt so bad.
It's all good.
That being said, I mean, I just don't have that much info on Leon. I would probably...
He has a 254 in BRT on Wii U, so it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was a couple months ago. He's from Lithuania. Interesting.
Well, I gotta read from my boy Strife in terms of predictions. I could see someone.
Finn see red, he root red.
Yeah, it's very simple, you know.
In terms of current PBs, it's someone's favor.
Yeah,
someone's no Wonder Mail PBs better than their Wonder Mail PBs, I think. But there's time for that to change. Actually no, this race is pretty soon. I don't know.
Get to it, boys.
Basically.
Yeah, this is coming up. Holy shit! It's starting like this weekend, right? So damn.
Yeah, the event is basically this week, so that's why this is crunch time for me right now. That's why literally this whole podcast I've been playing Sky.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from that, Sky beat Darkrai with Wonder Mail Eponymous versus Cobra is gonna be a crazy game.
I'm really afraid of Cobra getting whacked because like. Eponymous has been grinding significantly harder than Cobra because Cobral's had its nose kind of in Super for a while, even though it needs to be in this because this is literally next week.
Yep.
Wow, playing too much Super instead of preparing for the event. Who would do that?
I know, right? Not even the right category for the series race.
That being said, Cobra doesn't lose races, so
he doesn't. No, that I believe. I may be mistaken on this as well. These are taking place in a race format, correct?
Yep.
Through racetime.gg.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Not looking good for Eponymous just right off the bat. Just saying.
That's funny.
All right.
I do wonder if either of them know about the choice of routes where you can either go for max IQ and get like Stair Sensor Map Surveyor, or you can go for just the YOLO basically. This category is just for both are good.
Are they both? I assume they're both going to do the Drachi's letter exploit, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's mandatory because it saves an hour.
Okay. Well, let's make sure they both know about that, please. I'm going to make sure Cobra knows about it. Eponymous on his own.
I don't know if he's been shown the route yet.
Eponymous doesn't have to know. We're fine.
Yeah, he's on his own.
Yeah.
He's got it.
It will be interesting to see. I mean, is there a set default for a Dark right now, or is it still kind of like, oh, you can use like either Toto or like I would still use Skitty, but
for the partner, I think Skitty is necessary if you want to do the Stair Sensor Map Surveyor strats. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I guess you can use whatever. I don't remember if we had any Blizzard strats anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not up to date with Darkrai strats. I should be, but
that category is so fucked up now. But basically, Shady has two very good. Oh yeah, Muck Blizzard. That's right. Okay, so yeah, you want Skitty.
Okay. All right then.
Yeah, so the next race, I'm making a cameo appearance while we showcase GN97's talents in Destiny Tower.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so this is probably like this. I knew Gian did a lot of casual DT. I didn't know they did that much casual DT, and I didn't know that they would have literally no trouble just figuring out how to speedrun it. So to try to balance it out, I endeavored to try finding the ideal main, and I found Porygon to be like the most consistent, easy thing to get through the dungeon with, at least, in hopes that would help.
What's worth noting is that, by the way, I don't know if we said we're talking about Sky Destiny Tower. Worth noting that this is a best of 3.
Yeah,
the only best of 3 in the event.
Yeah, the only best of 3, which I think that's fair. I wish we had that during the fucking rando tournament, but you know, it is what it
is. Even could get fucked by like elixirs or something. Because when I play Destiny Tower, there's just no elixir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my position, my win condition is if GN fucks up 2 races in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's
they could. I mean, so the way this is going to work, and I was actually talking about this on stream, is basically like if you die really early, sure, go ahead and just restart, take like a slight disadvantage in terms of time. Maybe there will just be like some time cutoff where like if you die before this point, just try again. But basically after a certain cutoff, if you die, that's it. That's your run. And then if both players die, then whoever got the furthest wins.
Okay.
And if they get to the same floor or they get to the end, it's based on time.
I think that's a fair rule set, right? I like that.
That's probably the best way to do it, because otherwise both players could just die for hours.
Exactly.
Now,
right,
I don't know if we gave a proper background to GN97. He actually was the very first person to complete Emerald Kaizo, Hardcore Nuzlocke, which was kind of blowing up last year, I think. Like, I think a lot of big Pokemon streamers were doing it.
Yeah, he went from 0 to 300 viewers.
Yeah, it's crazy how he's like, and what doesn't make sense either, he doesn't even use a mic, right? He only uses a.
It's just pure talent.
But,
and then he was also really, really good at. I think it's like a 235 for BRT on emulator.
He was for the longest time second to whom on emulator, right? So yeah. he was the first, like, for my money, the first like emulator god, you know what I mean?
And then he came back for the relay and played BRT, and that was actually the return of Cobra in that very race. And then those two kind of duked it out. But GN actually did end up taking that race, so he's still very primed in these games, even though he's more focused on Nuzlocks of really hard vanilla or main series ROM hacks. So
no, he's fucking
64 Kaizo.
Yeah, with 64 too.
Gian only does really fucking hard things, including DT.
He's a gamer, you know. He's very skilled. So, Halq, you gotta get ready for that shit. I don't know what to say.
Look, man, my PB's 67F. I'm trying.
Oh, fuck.
Too much super.
Oh, fuck.
There's too much super to play. What do you want me to do?
All right. Well, I'm not gonna say my projections for that. We'll just.
You're not hurting my feelings. You can say it.
Let's move on to the last, aka the first category in game that is going to be run. WiiWare, any percent no one mail. Cheese, Halq, secure.
Anyone's fucking game.
It's going to be crazy.
I was the first to get to this and grind it.
This is my third
most. As
most.
It stands now, I have the worst PB.
This is my third most interest, or I don't know how to say it. The third game that I'm the most interested in, I guess.
I don't know if I'm going to be in the voice call during this one or not because of how much the game pisses me.
Yeah.
As you said, it'll probably just be me and Shady commentating.
Maybe it'll be hysterical if I'm there, but I'm gonna have to mute myself after a certain point.
Yeah. It's a rager.
We already talked about WiiWare at the start of this, so there's not much more to say about it. But
excellent.
It's gonna be a good race. I think it's gonna be a good race.
So, moving on from that, so we finished talking about all the categories. I think we only have like 15 minutes left, right? So, what was the thing I was gonna say?
Point system.
Yeah, the point system. Then also, I'm gonna talk about the commentary aspect if we have time. So yeah, let's talk about the point system. How did you come up with this? What's your mindset for it?
So basically, I thought of a vague system well before planning the event, or like this is one of the first things I thought of. So first of all, I want everyone that finishes, or at least everyone that plays until everybody else finishes, to get points as an incentive to finish. Like, you get a 0 if you forfeit. You get at least a couple points if you stick it out until the race is actually over. So that's one thing. So that's why everybody gets points for any rank, as long as they stick out the race, as long as it's necessary. Second, I figured that with the squad matches format, there might be different numbers of players in different races. And therefore, what I wanted to do was try to make it so, say if there's a 3-player race and your team gets last place, you're not like super duper totally fucked if against some other team. So I didn't want the difference to be like too huge between first and last. but I also wanted a reward for winning races. So I made sure that whenever someone wins a race, that's like a 4-point advantage that you're gaining over whatever team you beat at least. And that there is still a difference between second and third as well for the 3-player races. It's just not as devastating for the team that loses the most. That was like
red team.
That was sort of like a big plan. So yeah, first, second, and third, it does actually matter. It's just the most important is getting first.
Yeah.
So red team's not going to win anything, but we're going to have the most fun, and that's all that matters. Everyone else will be raging. Fuck this game. Fuck this, and we're just be like, this game's fucking dumb.
I'll share my opinions on who I think is going to win. I'll be right back though. But yeah, talk about the point system more, and then if you want to, also the commentary thing. It's
a long time ago that I thought of the point system, so I'm trying to remember what my exact thought process was. I mean, eventually, at first, it just started with 1 and 0, and then I thought of like, okay, let's make it so at least
there's an incentive. Talk about how the podcast host just kind of left us to fend for ourselves. He's milking us for content.
Yeah, fuck you, Finn. I'm gonna play Sky now. I'll just.
No, the point system keeps it interesting, where it's not like. It's when there's more than 2 teams, it's very hard to make it be okay, this team scored, so that's the win for this race, and then whichever team wins the most. But with a third team involved, you need this extra layering with the point system.
Yeah, it makes rescheduling a bitch in case I do have to reschedule anything. However, it does provide a lot of like there's a lot of variance basically. Like it's more complicated to the point where it's not just you can't tally it up right away.
But a point system means it'll be tallied up a lot faster than our January relay.
An official winner. Never got an official winner because it was too close. Too close, and I didn't care about platform differences. This time, because there's just points for win-lose, it's everybody has to use the same platform wherever possible.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference in platform that I think is okay is for WiiWare. I'm going to be playing on a Wii. I think you're going to be playing on emulator, and so it's secure. But I timed it, and Dolphin runs WiiWare exactly the same as a Wii.
Yeah, in cases where it's basically the same, it's fine. Similarly for Explorers, if there's like a blend of Wii U and emulator, I'm okay with it for that game. It's similar enough, as long as there's no blending console, like real console, and those two things.
So we kind of glossed on it in the beginning, but now that we're done with that, we can kind of talk about the series race and what exactly that entails, because we just kind of said it. We didn't really talk about it much.
Pain and suffering.
The series race is a tradition in the PMD community since July of 2017, where me and the boys, we went through BRT, no quick save, no wonder mail. Or actually, no, we did quick saves. BRT, no wonder mail. Gates to Infinity with wonder mail. Sky, no wonder mail. And then Super Mystery Dungeon with wonder mail. So it's those 4 games all sequential, and now there's actually a divide between unrestricted and no quick save, no wonder mail. So the one we've chosen, just because it's the most convenient for both of us, is the no wonder mail variant. So it'll be a race of Blue Rescue Team, no quick save, no wonder mail, into Gates, no wonder mail, into Sky, no wonder mail, into Super Mystery Dungeon, no wonder mail. So what that means is that Cheez going to win, because I haven't practiced Super no wonder mail at all.
We'll see. Maybe your wonder mail experience will carry your ass.
What time did we say we were doing that on?
Not January, December 24th. I don't know if we picked an exact time, but probably like the earlier in the morning, the better for me.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely circle back on that. But I'll be right back. You guys talk.
The series race suck, right? That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. That being said, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So what's up with the? We gotta wrap this up because I know you gotta go. But what's up with the commentary aspect? So are we gonna be able to hear people in the races, like the runners? I mean,
same structure as the relay, where it's just laid back. Whoever wants to hang out can hang out. Kind of like if you want to talk during your run, go ahead. If not, maybe somebody else will.
Yeah, because like for something like WiiWare, right? I think having commentators for that would be pretty good. But then, something like Darkrai, it's like I would like to hear the runners as well, if not like both runners and some
games. It's like you gotta have the runners talking. Gates got to have the runners talking, so otherwise it's too boring. The only thing that I might be strictly commentary restricted is Destiny Tower, because of that whole element where you win by getting the furthest if both people die. It's a little unfair if
I think
the players know
no.
where they were.
I think there's going to be exactly like that, where for Destiny Tower in specific and something else like that, that would definitely be a commentary match where you can't hear the runners. I think the same thing also for the special episodes New Game Plus. I think that would also be a good match.
I want to talk about the shit I did though. We'll see.
Well, no, well then yeah.
I mean,
do it.
The main thing with that one is preparation. So like, it's not like we can copy each other's homework by that point.
Oh, you're right. But yeah, definitely I think for the Destiny Tower, that should be a commentator one. But like I was saying, for something like Gates, I definitely want to hear the runners. So
yeah, but
I want to be there too, just to explain what's going on with Gates, because Gates is actually, I think, it's probably the most underappreciated game in the series, aside from maybe the RTDX. But RTDX has more runners, so I don't know. More people need to run Gates, if not at the full game, at least fast Gates. I think everybody owes it themselves to try it once.
More fun to speedrun than people might think.
It's really fun.
And then, other than that, so in terms of, I was gonna say let's do predictions for which team's gonna win, but we're just all gonna be biased, especially me. So all I gotta say is I think Team Radiance is the most stacked, but I think Team Wildfire, aka my team,
has the most potential.
Yeah, well, I think we can come in clutch. It's just gonna really depend on the few new runners in our team. And
I mean, what do we have? We have like half of our team are former world record holders in like the main speedruns of like multiple games.
Yeah.
So like we've been there on top. We've been there. We can do it again. It's just gonna depend on whether red team actually sits down and puts in the work or not. But we'll see.
It's mainly like hunkering down and coming in clutch for the games that matter. You know what I mean? So
yes, I get it. I need to practice Destiny Tower. Fuck.
Well, I was gonna say that I mean, that would be great if you fucking won that. But there's some games in here, like I would even say that one is one where it's like, okay, let's, like, we're quote unquote like expected to lose that one. No offense, but so let's just like just mark that off and be like, okay.
Yeah, so which companies in the grind we wear?
yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like that one would be fucking clutch. Like that's a big
we're having a team strategy meeting right in front of you, Cheese. I hope you don't mind.
I have to leave soon, so
yeah, no.
Oh, right. Okay, so thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's. Was there anything else I wanted to say?
Next week we're having our Zoomer episode for the timeline,
featuring. Right? Yes, we are, and you know, I won't even tell you who's going to be on it. You'll just have to come and find out. But it's going to be nice.
I'll spoil somebody. We'll probably have JuiceboxCommando on here. Hopefully, if all goes well.
I would really hope so. I really hope so. That being said, this was great. I hope you guys are as excited for the event as we are. She's put in so much time and effort, as you can see just by listening to this whole thing.
Go follow the Twitch channel.
Yes.
PMD Community.
Link that one more time.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you so much, Cheese, for putting this together. It's going to be so much fun, I think, for everybody, both the runners and viewers alike.
I hope so.
Yeah, really appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining me today as a guest, Cheese, and explaining everything.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys next week.